Hey guys, today we're gonna start our new series called Is Your Vision 2020. I had another video and it is taking too long to update. It shows it still has 5 hours, so I'm doing this one, just kind of a shortened down version for y'all at the fireworks stand. So hopefully the point and the message still comes across. This will be for the month of July, so I want y'all to take it to heart and participate, and hopefully we'll be back together soon. So what is your vision? Is it 2020? I'm not talking about how well your eyes view the world. If you're nearsighted, farsighted, or how well you see. I'm talking about a more important vision. A vision that your brain uses to determine what your eyes are seeing, which is called your perspective. There's a couple of definitions of perspective, and that's what this week's lesson is all about. It's just defining perspective for you, because I wasn't sure if you understood or even knew what perspective was. So this is the kickoff to that. I want to make sure you knew. I have a couple definitions of perspective. It's a mental view or prospect is the first one. The second one is the capacity to view things in their true relation or importance. The third one is the state of one's ideas, the facts known to someone. The fourth one is a particular way of thinking about something that is influenced by your beliefs and experiences. And then the last one is the proper and accurate point of view or ability to see objectively. And we're gonna, each one of these had keywords in it that really stood out to me about perspective, and so I'm gonna break those down for you. The first one, the mental view or prospect, what stood out to me is mental view. Do y'all know what mental view is? Because I kind of knew, but it was hard to describe. And I came up with, it's what you see after your brain takes what your eyes have shown it, and it adds in your beliefs, your thoughts, your experiences, your values that are associated with what you're seeing, and it processes it. That's your mental view. All of that together, not just what you're seeing, but how it makes you feel and what your experiences you've had towards that. All right, so for the second definition, the capacity to view things in their true relation or importance. What stood out to me is the capacity to view. That one I'm not gonna really go over because that's gonna be our last lesson. But I want y'all. What stood out to me is the capacity to view, and then true relation or importance. That one we're going to spend an entire time on, so I'm not going to break that one down right now. And then the third one is the state of one's ideas based on the facts known to someone. And what stood out was the facts known to them. And a lot of what we see all of what we see, once we take it, that mental view, and we add in everything that we know, is based on what we know. And a lot of times we think we know the whole story and we don't have all the facts. And this is the one where the devil really, I think, prays. He prays and tells us a lot that we know all the facts, that it's time to react. We know it. We've got all the information we need. It's time to react. It's time to form our opinion. Time to view it the way we should view it. And which causes us to react too quickly. The way that our brain works, you feel, the part of your brain that feels and emotions starts to analyze and respond to whatever you're seeing or situation you're in before the logic part of your mind kicks in. So if you react too quickly, you're reacting on emotions, not thought processes, which means that our emotions are not always accurate. And when we react on emotions, sometimes the emotion that we're feeling is justified and is fine to feel, but we may not necessarily should act on that. And when you add in the fact of we don't have all the facts, that's where the devil can really do a lot of damage to our lives, our relationships, and our futures. All right, so then the next definition was a particular way of thinking about something that is influenced by your beliefs and experiences. This one I think is a lot, it's really easy to see this one come to light in the world that we're living in and what's going on with America. And what stood out to me is influenced by your beliefs and experiences. And and a lot of those beliefs that we have, the values that we have, and all, it comes from our parents, right? Especially at y'all's age. It comes from what we're shown, what we watch our parents do, what we hear them say, the beliefs that they have, what they teach us. Some examples: fans of a certain football team. When you're younger, if your parents are a fan of a certain football team, normally you are too, especially when you're very young and you don't quite understand. You're going to wear whatever outfit they put you in, whether that's Alabama or another team. If they support a certain political party, their opinions on topics like church, current events, values, things like that. And then how they see others. If they look at others in a negative light based on their skin color, their gender, where they go to church, if they're Baptist, Church of Christ, their political view, if they have judgments and biases against people based on those things, a lot of times they're going to share those, and those may influence you as well, right? But something that you need to realize now, and you'll understand as you grow, those influences, as you grow, you'll see a lot of the other side of those things. It doesn't mean that the other side is right. Your parents could be completely correct in what they believe. But your eyes are going to be open to the other side of someone else's perspective. Why someone else believes something different. Why someone else is an Auburn fan. Why someone else goes to a certain church, or why someone else may be a Democrat instead of a Republican. Whatever it may be. You may realize and come to find that your parents' beliefs are wrong. At least some of them. That you see a different side of it. But you won't be able to see that different side until you have seen that perspective. And so I want you to remember this part. This comes from seeing the same situation, but seeing it from someone else's eyes. So you'll see, it can be something you've seen a million times in your life, but when you see it from someone else's eyes, that opens your eyes to how they may view things. I just want y'all to think about that this week. Think about how much of what I see is influenced by my beliefs or what my experiences are. How much of what I see do I really know, or do I just think that I have all the information? All right, and then the last definition was a proper and accurate point of view or ability to see objectively. So in that one, what stood out was see objectively. And I wasn't sure if y'all knew what that meant. And it's referring to the two types of thinking and decision-making processing, subjective and objective. Subjective refers to when you use your personal perspectives, your feelings, your opinions, when those are in play in your decision-making process. Objective is making a decision based on pure facts, right? So subjective is, I go eat a Red Lobster because I like shrimp scampi, and you hate shrimp, so your decision is to not go there. It's subjective. It is based on your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, who you are, not pure facts. Objective would be the sky. I decide to go to church at 9 o'clock. Well, that's not a good one. Sorry. Objective would be something more like, I am going to decide to go to work at 8 o'clock because my employer tells me to go to work at 8 o'clock. That's called hard fact. My employer decides to pay me my salary because that's what they have agreed in writing to pay me. Or an objective decision would be, a grade on a test. There's no subjective in most tests. If it's multiple choice and the answer's A and you pick D, it's wrong. Your decision was wrong, and the decision of the grade that you get is just a fact. A really good example that kind of shows both sides is a courtroom. So in a courtroom, you have the defendant, someone who's on trial. You have the victim, the person that this happened to. You have the families of the victim and the defendant, and all of those are subjective. Why, and if you think about it, it's really easy to see why it would be subjective. They're not going to base their decisions on cold hard facts. They have feelings. They have strong feelings, especially if it's, like a criminal case where there was some hurt or even like murder. The victim's family is going to have a lot of feelings on it. They can't be objective. They can't base their decisions on how they act or feel towards that person or what they think on just pure facts. They have feelings. They're invested in that case. Same thing would be with the defendant, and lawyers are great at playing. They want the jurors to be subjective. They're great at bringing that in. That's what they want to do, is bring in the subjective side, the feelings, the emotions, the experiences, because that's where they want you to base your guilty or not guilty on those feelings. But in the courtroom, there's also people who are objective. The judge, the jury, and the witnesses. They should be objective. The witnesses should tell the facts, what they witnessed. The jury is supposed to make a guilty or innocent decision based on the cold hard facts. I would hate it if I was put on trial for something I didn't do, and the jury decided I was guilty based on the feeling that the lawyer brought up, that there was no evidence, no facts that I did it, but the lawyer was good at making them feel like I did, so I was found guilty. And that would be, this is just to me a really good example of the subjective versus objective point of view. And the reason that I'm sharing that one is because your perspective can be both. Your perspective is more going to be what you feel personally and things, but in this lesson and in this series, we're going to talk a lot about decision making, and decision making comes a lot from your perspectives, right? And we're going to talk about biblical perspective, eternal perspective, how we should look at things. One person is going to look at something totally different, right? Most people this week looked at the fireworks stand and thought, okay, I'm going to go volunteer to sit there, and if someone walks up, I'll sell them some fireworks. Or, they thought, some people probably thought, oh gosh, I got to go to the stupid fireworks stand. It's going to be hot. It's going to be just crowded. I don't know how to do the register. Sarah's so bossy. There's going to be a million kids there. They're not doing anything but playing around. They're going to make me dress up and hold a sign. I don't want to go to it. Right? That's a different perspective. And then there's people like me, which I might have been the only one, who was like, woohoo, fireworks stand. I love to sell. I get to be part of all these people's 4th. I get to have a hand in their memories of the 4th because I get to sell them their fireworks. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have all the kids there. They're going to get to learn how to work and serve. We're going to make money. We can use that money to go do a bunch of fun stuff with the 628. And I'm just overjoyed. Like, I'm sad today because fireworks stand's closing. All of those are the same situation. We're all going to a stand, right? A hot metal building to sell fireworks. The difference between them is how we see the fireworks stand, our perspective. So, I want to leave y'all, well, I can't do that right now, but I'm going to send out a worksheet that's got some verses on it. And I really want y'all to think about this week when you make decisions or when you see something happen. I want you to think about, okay, this is how I saw that. What could someone else's perspective be? A good time to do that would be with your siblings. If you get frustrated with your siblings for something, think about, okay, what could they have been thinking or doing? Or if someone cuts your parents off in traffic and your parents get upset, think about, okay, that person could be rushing to the hospital because they have a family member who's about to pass away and they need to tell them bye. I want you to try to find all the different perspectives that you can in a situation. Try to do it daily. Just think about, okay, and not just different perspectives, but think about at least once a day, think about, okay, why did I see that way? Why did I see what that person said as this? Why did I see when my mom told Jackson that he did a great job? Why did I think, well, that must mean she thinks I did a bad job? Why did you see it negative like that, or positive, or however you think? Take something that you've seen, how you feel about it, and look at, why did I see it that way? Why did it make me feel that way? And then take something that you feel and look at a different look at the opposite side. Just sit, it can be anything. Think about, okay, why did I see it this way? What could they have seen? What could they have been feeling? For me, a good time for doing that is at work with customers, when they may not understand what a deposit slip is, or how to fill one out, or write a check. My perspective is, hey, that's easy. I do it all the time. I know what overdraft services is. I know what opt-in, opt-out is. My perspective is, that's easy. Do you want to opt in? You want to opt out? But some people, most people, probably don't understand what that means. Their perspective is opt in. What the heck are you talking about? So for things like that, if you're in softball or sports, thinking of the coach's perspective or a different player's perspective. When you do this, please send it to me. I would love to know what you learn. And y'all be in prayer for this series this week, or this month. I'm really excited about it. We're going to jump into biblical perspectives and what our eternal perspective should be in the coming weeks. I do want to have y'all pray for Miss Gabby. She's got a lot going on, preparing to, finish her degree and start her career in teaching. And I know she's probably getting just very stressed. She was really upset that she didn't get to come be part of the fireworks stand, and just, her heart is to be here and to be with us, but God has his plan for her life is, to be a teacher and to influence lives. And so at this point in her life, she's growing through that, and it's hard, but she's learning how to be the best for her students, and it's pulling her away, not pulling her away from us, but it's making her, she's got to focus on that right now. And I know that she could use y'all's encouragement, your prayers, texts, calls, whatever it is, funny pictures, selfies, cheerleaders, whatever you may be able to do. Just make sure you show her some love. Bye, girl.